versus you. 1, 2, 3. You for the two. You versus you. Set. It is you versus you. Now, coach, what do you mean? Why I gotta be? Because here's the thing. When you get on that line, guys, when you decide to run, when you decide to say, hey, coach, I'm not going to touch the line. I'm going to touch it a little bit above. I want you to understand there's a version of you that is always touching the line. Every sprint, every gasser, they're touching the line. There's not enough times that a lot of guys do not want to recognize that it's only you versus you. And the only version you're competing with is the version of yourself yesterday. There's moments where you look at people like Kobe, LeBron, these great players, challenge themselves every single day to get better. See, look, there's a version of you that watches Netflix. And there's a version of you that reads books. There's a version of you that did nothing. There's a version of you that was active. It's always going to be you versus you. It's not your competition. It's not your friend. It's not your parents. It's not your family. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, you go to sleep alone, you're going to wake up alone. And when I say that, I'm saying you're going to sleep in your own body. You're waking up in your own body. You're not two people. You're just one. So what that means is the version of you that was hurt, the version of you that was in pain, right? There's a version of you that was in love, that has love, the love to give, the love to think. There are so many things that you are on the other side of that you don't want to recognize because you think, hey, if I keep staying in the same method, if I keep staying in the same mode, I can transition my life. Look, there's a version of you that's all talk. And there's a version of you that's all action. Where do you think these individuals are? Because I know the person that's about action, they're going to find a way. Oftentimes, these people that try to talk, it's like zeros. It's zeros. You're catching 0 cents because it's just a thought, it's an idea, it's a talking point. When I grew up, I learned it is very important to know what you're speaking out of your mouth. Now, there's areas where I feel like, oh yeah, sometimes I say this, sometimes I say that. But one of the most important things about that was always being conscious about how I speak about certain things that I want to do. I soon realized you can't tell the world your dreams. You can't tell the world your thoughts. If you haven't been doing it for months, don't tell anybody. And even when you tell somebody, you better really trust that person, right? But too many people are growing up saying, hey, I want to be the streamer. I want to be a TikToker. I want to have this. I want to have that. But they're not working to it. There's no action plan. It's straight talk. I had this idea. Straight talk, no action. Straight talk, no action. What are we doing now? But that version of you said, oh, yeah, I just thought about the idea. I did it. To mitigate the life of, let's talk about Michael Jackson and Prince. These guys were the greatest musicians. Top of their class. Clash of the Clash. But y'all hear the story about Michael Jackson talk about, yeah, I would wake up in the middle of my sleep. As soon as I heard the song, I went to the studio because I said if I didn't wake up, Prince was going to make it. We are just grabbing ideas. The life cycle of our ideas, if they're not getting done and made up in the present moment, while you have them, sayonara, toodaloo, bye-bye. Right? That's what's happening. But so many times we sit here and be like, yo, coach, I don't feel like going to practice today because practice is going to be hard. I don't feel like doing that. Well, I'd rather, let's go to Steak and Shake. Yeah, I don't want to cook though. I don't want to cook. I'm too lazy to. But what happens when you're not? What happens when you have to? It's you versus you. You have to understand that. I can't play your game. Look, when I tell guys about the dating game and you're trying to figure out, how do I play it? How do I go about this situation? How do I go here? How do I translate here? It's you versus you. Did you study, Phil? Did you recall your assignments? Or was it just a struggle? Right? That's the truth. So many times, guys don't want to take accountability for that. Don't want to take accountability for knowing that you have to do what you have to do. Nobody is saving you. Nobody's getting on a horse, saddling up, and having their, nobody's doing that for you. Nobody's coming and holding a whole bunch of bags of money and just saying, here you go. No, that's the journey of life. Do some people have it better than others? Yes. But that person still has to go against themselves. I don't understand this. It's still them versus them. It's not them versus the world. That's what I'm trying to say, is like to pick yourself up and to say, hey, I need to change this about myself. I need to change this about myself. I didn't like what I did yesterday. I didn't like how I experienced that experience. I don't want to experience that ever again. Well, I'm going to change this because now I'm going to mitigate that and that's out of my memory. We're not doing that. So now you start thinking to yourself like, oh man, true. That's real. That's honest. And you start picking up on these things. And then the you that takes action, the you that does the work, the you that says, yo, you know what? I'm going to get it anyway. The you that says, I'm going to find a way. If there's a will, there's a way. That's the version of you that you're competing against. Because if you start thinking about that version, that person's waking up earlier than you. That person's studying more than you. That person's taking action more than you. So what are you going to do against you? Believe it or not, class is closed. Okay. Guys. I need you guys to tap it. Tap it for me. Guys, if you haven't popped into the Discord, go to the Discord. The link is in the bio. Just click it. The Book of Yay. Join the Discord, guys. Also, go to YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. Turn me up! But I want to get to the one point that everybody's been asking me. Coach this, coach that, coach, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. And I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm doing a 6-month coaching program. Guys, it's a one-on-one. It's only a couple spots. Look, for the guys that are serious, go join the Discord. The link is in my bio. DM me one-on-one. And then we can go from there. But guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm only taking people that's trying to get off the bench and trying to play the game and try to win. I'm not taking people that don't want to win. You guys ever been to a program and you look over here and you're like, oh snap, the program's good. Yeah, we're doing that, guys. So the guys that want to get their fitness right. For the guys that want to get their goals right. For the guys that want to demolish the dating game and go and understand how to go past the heartbreak, I'm that guy. For the guys that really want to tap in on their faith, I'm that guy. So I'm only going to take a couple guys that are really serious, guys. We're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna see how you're at. But I'm only taking serious people. If you are the type of person that say, hey, I'm done with the fact that I'm losing at life and I want to win, the people that are locked in with the Book of Yay, we gonna win. You gonna look at your teammates and you gonna say, I'm a winner. But at the end of the day, if you come on this side, we gonna work. It's no BS. It's everything. It's daily, daily, daily. So guys, tap in. The Book of Yay. Go to YouTube, subscribe, lock in. But believe it or not,